What's up and welcome to today's video. So in today's video we're going to be exposing copy trading. This is something that a lot of people get into when they get involved in the forex space, so I really want to cover a few key points and get into it today. So let's roll that intro and get straight into today's video.
I know it's gonna hurt, but you're worth fighting for.
So in my experience, I've never actually been involved in signals firsthand. However, I'm just going to share my experience in terms of what I see from an outside perspective and my opinion on it. I don't want to tell you you shouldn't do it. I don't believe that you should do that. I think it's down to you guys to make your own critical thinking and think for yourself. So I'm just going to present my thoughts, my opinions on this, and you can kind of get a gist of what I'm saying, what I'm not saying, and kind of make your opinion of that. So yeah, let's get into it. So right off the bat, I can see why people get involved. You know, it's an attraction that tends to attract a lot of young people into signals because they're probably working a 9-to-5 job, working a job, they're looking to get some side income on the side. Like I've seen that mentality. I've seen it with friends, I've seen it with family, I've seen it with a few different people. So that's why it tends to attract people, because they see that essentially get rich quick or the ability to make profit quick, and it attracts them straight off the bat. So they then want to get involved in that space. Now, from people that I've spoke to in the past about signal services, what they've been involved in, and kind of heard their story on that as well. I've known a few people get involved in signals. Like I said at the start of the video, I've never been involved myself, but I can only tell from their experience and what I see from an outside perspective. So the problem with a lot of signal providers is that, number one, they don't provide, clear rules or clear risk management. That's a no-go straight off the bat. If you're told to buy or sell a currency pair and you have no stop loss or no risk management in place, it's a very fast track to blow your account, let's put it that way. And number two, you're not thinking for yourself. I'm a very big advocate of critical thinking, whether this is in life, whether this is in trading, whether it's in business, whatever it is. You have to think for yourself. If you're following instructions from other people, believing the masses, believing everything you hear on the news, it goes in life, it goes in trading, it goes in everything. If you're believing a certain opinion and you're not getting the facts from your own research, then you're part of the problem and you're not doing your own critical thinking, right? Same in every part of life. So with that in mind, if you're doing that with signals, if you're following instructions from someone who tells you to buy or sell dollar yen, euro dollar, whatever it may be, and you're not thinking about that for yourself and actually have some backup analysis, or you don't understand the markets clearly, how do you expect to make an income that way longer term? Name me one millionaire that's been a million, made their millions from signals. Guarantee you will not find one. There's a reason for that. It's because it's not sustainable for the long term, and the reason for that is because your income source, let's say it is an income source, even if it's short term, even if it is for a few weeks or a month or 2 or 3, your income source is predicated on someone else's instructions. So if that company goes down tomorrow, if that signal services, goes through the bat, something happens to it, or that person stops trading, that's an income source. If it is an income source, gone within 24 hours. So you see how it's just not sustainable. And what tends to pop in my head in this situation is the quote of, give a man a fish and you feed him for a day, or teach a man to fish and you feed him for a lifetime. That comes up in signals. If you give someone a signal, they make profit, cool, but it's not sustainable. You're not teaching them how to trade. You're not giving them that skill up hand. And I guess there's certain companies that do that as well, but I'm just not a big advocate of signals in itself. I would much prefer it for people to actually learn how to trade for themselves, and then they don't have to depend on other people for that income source or other instructions. So if something does happen, they can rely on themselves and not other people. Now, one thing that I really want to touch on, which is very important here, is taking responsibility. If you've read Trading the Zone, I've recommended this on previous videos before. Definitely go read that if you haven't already. And Mark Douglas in there talks about taking responsibility as a very vital skill to success within trading. And if you're learning the skill for yourself, right, you're building up the skill, you understand the process, you understand how long it takes, you start to learn over time that you have to take responsibility, because you go through journaling, you see the trades you've taken, you see the losses you've taken, eventually you click on, if you're smart enough, eventually you'll click on that you have to take responsibility for your own actions, for your own trades, for your own decisions. If you make a bad call, it's on you. If you make a bad decision, it's on you. If you make a bad trade, it's on you. Everything is on you. You're taking responsibility for your own actions, which means that you'll then put steps in place to improve that going forward, which will then quicken your way to where you want to be, to a successful career in trading. The problem with signals is that you're not taking responsibility. Why is that? Well, number one, you likely don't understand how to trade, so you don't understand that taking responsibility is even a key thing to success in trading. And number one, you don't understand trading, so you don't understand that that's a key thing. Number two is that you haven't backtested the strategy, meaning that you don't understand the probability model, you don't understand that an edge plays out over time, you don't understand that you could take 1, 2, 3 losses in a row, equally followed by 4 wins or a break even, etc., etc. So let's say, for example, you take 2 losses, or you take 3 losses in a row. You're then going to blame someone else. There's no way you're taking responsibility for a signal that you've followed instructions from someone else to take. So if you buy or sell dollar yen, it turns out to be a loss. Let's say you take the same trade again, turns out to be a loss. You're probably going to ditch that strategy because you don't believe it, because you haven't backtested it. Now, that's not taking responsibility. And because you're not taking responsibility, you are just going to sabotage yourself, because you're putting very bad habits in place early on within your trading career. I'm so grateful that I didn't get involved in signals, because there's so many bad habits that can come from signals itself. You know, taking responsibility is one, following other people's analysis. Even that comes in the form of trading. You can get people on who are trading, who are in a community or out of community. You see people on Instagram take certain trades, and then you naturally feel early on as if you've missed out on a trade, as if you should be in that trade too. That's the same mindset that happens within signals. You're not taking responsibility and you're following other people's analysis, which again is going to sabotage yourself if you don't use it in the correct manner. So I'm a very big advocate of that. Taking full responsibility for your own actions, for your own trades, for your own decisions, and I really don't believe that you can do that within signals. One of the fastest way to sabotage yourself from success is not actually taking responsibility for where you're at, your decisions, your trades, everything you do. So if you're not taking responsibility, you're just going to hold yourself back, give yourself bad habits, so that even if you do learn to trade in the future with, the proper way, without signals, then you're going to set up a foundation of bad habits, which if you have a weak foundation, it's just going to crumble the more and more you get into trading. Whereas if you have a very strong foundation, you have good morals, you have good habits, you have all these different things in place, then you build a very good foundation for your success in the future. You can't build a house off quicksand. You have to, give it a strong foundation for it then to grow. Same with a tree, same with anything in life. The foundation of how you do things is very, very important. So I'm a huge advocate, as you can tell, of this. And just to finish off here, you have to question why you're doing signals in the first place. If it is really to get a shortcut or make a side income or really do it a lot quicker than usual, let me tell you right now, that isn't going to happen. Yes, there are ways to be more efficient and speed the journey up for sure, but you ain't going to do that by getting signals. Name one person, like I said in the video, that is a millionaire through signals. You ain't going to find one. I'll sit here, you're never going to find one. So bear that in mind, think about that for yourself. There's a reason for that. It's because it doesn't give you the sustainable skill over the course of the long term to make you wealthy, to make you, fortune, to make you whatever you want to get out of it. So that's a really key point. So hopefully you've enjoyed this video. Hopefully you bear in mind the key topics that we've discussed today, and really just take the time just to think about this for yourself. So make sure you don't sabotage your own success by getting involved in things for the short term, because let me tell you right now, sometimes the hard things in life really get you ahead over the long term. If you take the easy route, you are never going to get anywhere. Let me tell you that right now. So hopefully you enjoyed the video. Speak to you all in the next one. Subscribe down below, click that notification bell, and I'll see you all in the next video. See you soon.
With